think the Commanders is a name that, is going to be hopefully one that people will talk about going forward.
All right, so you like the Commanders as the new team name, huh?
There were so many different options, but once again, it's trademark infringement. It's getting approval from different people. It's, if you choose a name, is there a group out there that isn't going to like it? I mean, there's so many things that you have to consider. Commander, basically, it's Washington, D.C., a lot of commanders in Washington, D.C., and the Pentagon, and a lot of different branches of the service. And so to me, that's sort of the way I'm looking at it, as a positions of leadership when it comes to the.
What's good, Washington fans? So Joe Theismann did go on the DA show, like you just heard from the 30-second clip, saying it did sound like, this is my interpretation, it did sound like he did say the name would be Commanders. The guy DA said, you like the new Commanders name, huh? And then Joe Theismann said, yeah, I hope people will like the name Commanders. The new name going forward is Commanders. Also, he says, basically, there's a lot of commanders in Washington, D.C., in the Pentagon, and a lot of different branches of the service. So to me, that's really the way I'm looking at it, as positions of leadership when it comes to the new name. So, and he talked about trademark infringement, copyright infringement of the other possible name. So if this is true, if it really is the name, maybe Jason Wright talked to Joe Theismann before he went on the show and knew he was going on the show, and they tried to deflect and misdirect, which Jason Wright has said many times that he's going to try to misdirect and kind of make some leaks and different things and kind of trick people and make them think it's one name and not the other. So I don't know. It kind of did sound like Joe Theismann believes that the name is Commanders, that he was told this. Joe Theismann is 72 years old, so he is getting old. So I wouldn't be surprised if he really did, if the name really is Commanders. And I already said my prediction is the name's going to be Commanders. If you watch the Washington Football Today show, also you see the piece of paper on Jason Wright's leg that had the Commanders logo and on the paper and some other logos and whatnot on the paper to show the Commanders seal. Jason Wright really likes soccer, so that seal is kind of soccerish is what people are saying. And then, of course, Ron Rivera loves the military. Anything tied to the military, Jamin Davis, that can tell you he just loves the military. People have military parents. Anybody affiliated with the military, that's what Ron Rivera wants. Now, me personally, I'm not emotionally invested about the name, but I'm marginally invested where I will give you guys updates. Of course, I do need to know what the name is because this is the team I'm cheering for. And I possibly will be buying merchandise for this new team. And we're going to say hail to the Commanders or hail to the Commandos or hail to the Durs or whatever we're going to be saying if they change this name. So the connection to DC because of the Pentagon, that's pretty lame to me, to be honest with you. I'm just keeping it honest and being real. It's pretty lame. I'm not a fan of it being Commanders. But like I said, I just care more about winning football games. We could be called the Washington Cupcakes. And as long as we're winning games, getting to the playoffs, we have a franchise quarterback. That's what's more important to me. That's what's more important to me. Now, about Joe Theismann kind of spilling the beans and letting it slip out, the leak or whatever, it does look bad. It does look bad. If it is Commanders, and Joe Theismann went on a radio show 2 days before when it's supposed to be a big announcement and a surprise on the NBC Today show at 9 o'clock tomorrow. We are less than 48 hours away from the name coming out. Then it does look bad on Joe Theismann's part. It does look kind of bad on Jason Wright as well because this name got leaked out and it really wasn't supposed to get out. But like I said, I won't look at Jason Wright. This won't make me, look at Jason Wright any different way. I'm not going to say fire Jason Wright like a lot of people have said. I'm not going to say anything like that or, Joe Theismann is terrible because he let the name out. It doesn't look good, but at the same time, I'm not going to look at these guys any differently than what I've looked at Jason Wright before. He was a part of the Sean Taylor celebration botch. That was awful, but like I said, I'm still rooting for Jason Wright to be successful. It's hard to be a successful business person or businessman or business partner working under Daniel Snyder. It's hard to do that. So he has an uphill battle himself, but I'm mentally prepared for the Commanders. I'm mentally prepared for it. And like I said, that does not, just because Joe Theismann came out and said, does not mean it's set in stone. But I would say it's about an 80% chance that it will be Commanders. That will be the name on Wednesday morning, that it will be announced. So once again, he said a commander is basically, it's Washington, D.C. It's a lot of commanders in Washington, D.C. in the Pentagon and a lot of different branches of the service. So to me, that's really the way I'm looking at it, as positions of leadership when it comes to the new name. And DA did try to get it out of him. He knew what he was doing, the reporter or the podcaster, trying to be slick and get the name out of Joe Theismann. And he said, yeah, I hope people will like the new name going forward as Commanders. So Joe Theismann's, he's hoping that people will like the new name. And we already know a lot of people are not going to like. I'm not one of those people that say, I'm not going to be a fan anymore. I'm not going to root for the team anymore. I'm just not that emotionally invested in the name. So that's what I mean when I don't care to that point where I'm going to just stop rooting for the team. I just couldn't care less. Like I said, if it was Washington Cupcakes or Washington Moe's Mumbo Sauce, Washington Bullets, which is what I really want, I couldn't care less what the name is. But, we'll see. I'll be back Wednesday morning. Might be going live or just a quick recap of the announcement of the name. So you guys let me know what you guys think, what your final predictions are. I already made my final prediction as the Commanders. So, all right, you guys, hail to the football team one last time. Peace.